So in this video, we're going to look at writing equations of lines. So the first thing that you need to know is the form that we're going to be using for all of our equations. And that form, it should look familiar, is called slope-intercept form. And this is going to be y equals mx plus b. This should look familiar because we looked at equations like this last year. So it's called slope-intercept because your slope is going to be the m. Right here is your slope. And your intercept is going to be the b. So your b is your y-intercept. So those are the two pieces that we're going to need for every equation that we write. We'll need a slope and we'll need a y-intercept. So with this in mind, we're going to start with one example where we have the equation and we need to graph that equation. So for example 1, we have the equation 3x plus y equals 4. So first we need to put this in slope-intercept form. So to do this, we need y by itself. So I'm going to take over my 3x. So those 3x's cancel out. And I'll get y equals negative 3x plus 4. So now in this equation, I can look for those two pieces that I need. I need a slope and I need a y-intercept. So if we remember from up here, our slope is always going to be the m, which is right next to our x. So if I go down to my equation here, the x right next to it is this negative 3. So my slope is going to be negative 3. And then for the y-intercept, that's always going to be at the end, either added or subtracted. So if I look at the end here, I'm adding 4. So my y-intercept is going to be plus 4. Or I could write this as an ordered pair of 0, 4. Those are the same thing. So I know you don't have a graph, but we can graph this pretty easily without one. So if I just come on the side, I can draw a T, draw across. So your y always goes up and down. That's a really bad y. Oh. Your y always goes up and down, and then your x goes side to side. So for my y-intercept, I need to go up 4. So I always start at the middle, and I can just draw some lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put a dot here. And then my slope of negative 3, another way I can write this is negative 3 over 1. So whenever I'm looking for slope, my top number is telling me up or down, and then this bottom number is telling me side to side. So since it's a negative, I'm going to go down 3. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go over 1. So again, I can just make a mark over 1. So now all I need is these 2 dots, and I can draw a straight line. This dot goes here, and I can connect. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. I've got my line. On your homework, you will have graphs, so you'll get the lines made for you. But kind of a general idea, Your y-intercept tells you up or down how many on the y-axis, and then your slope tells you how many up and down and over you go to get another point. So now we're going to look at an example where we're given a line and we need to find the slope. So here you can see we've got a graph. So I need to write an equation for line P. So if I look, here's the P. So I'm looking at this line right here. So again, the two pieces I need are the slope and the y-intercept. So for my y-intercept, this B, I can just look at my y-axis and I can see, ooh, it crosses right here. So my y-intercept is +2. The slope is a little bit more tricky. So I'm going to look for some pretty points. So what that are is this would be a pretty point right here. And then I want another place where this line crosses at an intersection. So at a T. So if I keep going, here, not a T, not a T, not a T. Ooh, here's another pretty point. Crosses at that intersection. So to get from point 1 to point 2, I'm going to go down 1, 2, and then I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3. So for this, I'm going to do up or down over my over. So here I went down 2 and over 3. So my slope is -2 over 3. So when we think about y equals mx plus b, I'm going to have y equals my m, my slope, is -2 over 3 x, and then my b is +2. And that's it. That's my equation. All right, and there's one more type we're going to look at, and that's if they give you the slope and the y-intercept. So really this last one, I think, is the easiest, because if we look, so here, if we call this example 3, what they will say is it will say the slope is -1/3 and the y-intercept is 11. So now we just have to remember which one is M and which one is B. So again, we're thinking about y equals mx plus b. So my m is always my slope. So here it says my slope is -1/3. And then my b is my y-intercept. It says the y-intercept is 11. So when I go to fill in my equation, y equals, for my m, I'm going to use -1/3 x, and then for my b, I'm going to have +11. And that's my final answer. If y'all have questions, let me know, and then head back to Google Classroom to look at the practice.